Good morning and welcome in. This is Bricolage with Pink Girly, creating with a diverse variety of available things. Woohoo! Glad you can join me. If you're a replayer, you might want to fast forward a little bit because I'm hoping that some folks will come in and visit and hang out with me during this live stream. And I'm going to be showing a few things right off the bat here. So if you're not interested, scoot on past for about maybe 20 minutes or so. Good morning, Gail. Nice to see you. I think I might need to put my camera up just a little bit for beginning here. Good morning, Pam. Hello, hello. Janice, hello, good morning. Welcome, welcome. Come on in, folks. Get a comfy seat. As many of you that will be joining me this morning and some of the replayers for sure. Good morning, Mina. How nice to see you. Excuse me. You may be familiar with a lady by the name of Diane Fago, and Diane years ago was known as Packer Di on YouTube. She is now known as Diane Fago Art, I believe. Good morning, Dar. Nice to see you. Come in. Grab a seat. And she has a certain style of collage. So if you haven't checked her out, you need to check out her channel. She does some awesome work. Good morning, Kathy. Good morning, Angie. How you feeling, Ange? I hope you got enough rest last night. Some of us were at the market. We probably were up a little too late. Anyhow, Diane had shown when she was on with Lisa Conway, Lisa My Eclectic Life, she had shown a book that she got by this gentleman. Now, I listened to how his name is pronounced. Pierre Joseph Rideau. The Book of Flowers. It's a beautiful book, and hers was gorgeous. The thing is, I found a copy, and when I got it, I realized mine is much, much smaller. So I am a little disappointed, but it's a beautiful book, and these will make beautiful pages for a journal. But I have to say, I really was disappointed in the size because I was looking for some bigger flowers to collage with. So Diane had mentioned originally she had a calendar by Mr. Rideau. And so I thought, well, I wonder if I could find the calendar. And I was thinking I could find it maybe used, But sure enough, calendars.com, they had a Pierre Rideau calendar. Hey, Queen Bee, nice to see you. It's been a little while. She's going to sleep, dropping off. Aw, well, you have a good little snooze. Thanks for popping in. I appreciate that. It was nice to see you. And so I ordered a few calendars. They had some really quite reasonable. Some were like $3 or $4. And of course, there were other calendars that were more expensive. And some of them I when I got them, I didn't remember, actually having them in my cart. Well, you know how that goes. So I'm going to show you those. So let's start off with Mr. Rideau's calendar. See, his flowers are very large. Let's see if I can do it this way. So this is just a mini calendar haul. I've got a little bit of a glare. Let's see if I can hold these up and you can see some of these images. So I was also enabled by Diane and Lisa to purchase a note that's called Nomad. It's a designer, room designer book. And we're collaging in that book. And it's a good sized book. I guess that's probably a 10 by something, right? And these flowers will work nicely with a larger area to collage. So you get a nice variety. And of course, it's regular calendar paper. but the images are beautiful. So there were, of course, a lot. Oh, look at that one. I love that one. I can't wait to use that one. I purchased 2 of this. This was one of the ones that was on sale. I think it was only like $3. So I thought, well, if I'm going to pay shipping, I might as well get 2. Cool, right? And then you get, of course, as in a lot of calendars, you get the little, like, what are they? 1 by 1s, 2 by 2s on the back, which you could certainly use for a lot of different things. So I got that. And then years ago, my sisters and I, we used to always get these Lang calendars. You could go to the mall, and they always, around Christmas time, had the calendar kiosk. And my husband even made at one point a frame that we could slip this in, open, so it hung down lengthwise. So this brought back some memories, but I saw this rooster one. I'm having trouble with my little cord here. Keep hitting my calendar. Let me see. Hi, Candy. Good morning. So I thought these might be fun. And these have some nice background stuff too, even if I cut out the roosters individually. It's also got some nice flowers. It was hard to tell on the website because some of them I just couldn't see well enough, or it didn't show you enough of what the calendar might look like. And I'll show you in a minute. The one that I purchased, I'm really not too thrilled with. Look at him. See, and you can use, somewhere I have a calendar similar to this. It's got all spring designs in it. A lot of, I think, dragonflies and butterflies, maybe some birds. And you can use these before you cut them up. You can use them for inspiration for drawings or paintings in your sketchbooks. So if you grab a calendar or see something like this, maybe at your thrift shop, keep that in mind when you're looking at them. You can use them as a reference. I love him with the green. His tail is like as leaves. Hi, Mitzi. Good morning. I know, right, Candy? I just love them. So I was very, very pleased with this. Very, very pleased. I can remember years ago, my mom we did ceramics, and my mom had a rooster lamp that she painted in ceramics. Yeah, that guy for years. And those remind me of that lamp. This one's the one I'm a little disappointed with. I thought I had taken it out of my cart because I really couldn't see it that well. And I guess I didn't, because here it is. And I think, now when I look through it again, it might be different, but I think there's just not, see, it's just like a lot of the backgrounds are just plain. And I don't think, you have a rooster teapot? Oh, that sounds cool. I just don't, I mean, I'll use it, but I just am a little disappointed. I guess I could use these flowers. You have a rooster lamp at one of the places where you teach? I think they were all the rage years ago, right? So this one's just so-so. It's just so-so for me. Right, you can't even see the little, there he is. The little Hummer on this one. And I guess I could cut out, but see, there's a lot of extra space here with nothing behind. And quite frankly, I don't think the hummingbirds look that good. Do you think they're cute pictures even still? I guess. The hummers just don't seem very vibrant to me. And I guess maybe maybe the flowers are more of a watercolor look. That guy's pretty cool. I don't know. I'm just not thrilled with this one. But again, I think this one was you know, on marked down as well. So I don't think I paid a lot for this one. They're just so. Eh. Anyway, that's the story on that one. And then I saw a garden farmer's almanac, and I thought, well, this looks cute because it was a desk calendar, and this was hard to tell. And I saw, okay, Pam, and she says, I don't know what I'm going to do. I have nothing fixed to send to sell next time. Oh, well, sometimes you can't do it all. You have to listen to your body and maybe take a little rest. Okay. So I was thinking a lot of these pages would have bright vegetable kind of colors, and they don't. There are some, but of course you can tear off these pages. These are glossy, like a semi-glossy finish, so that's kind of nice. And there are some really nice pictures, but most of them, which is also cool, you know, or this, it's a green, it's kind of a sage green print, and then it's got some little saying. Primrose comes from the Middle French word primrose, meaning first rose, many species flowers in early spring. So I think a lot of these pages will also make a really cool journal. But I thought all of the pages would have more color. So this is only a semi-bust, because the colored ones that are there are really nice. You know, so I was thinking this would make kind of a cool journal. Because I don't need all these calendars, you know, I got them to create things with. Good morning, Kathleen. Welcome in. Welcome, welcome. Come in and say hello. So that one I'm fairly happy with. It's just really the hummingbird one, because I think hummingbirds are beautiful. So I guess I just am really kind of disappointed with that one. Then I got this one. This one was discounted. I think this one was maybe $8 or $9. I don't remember. But I thought, oh man, I'm going to take this apart. It's got such beautiful pictures. And then when it arrived and I looked at it, I'm going to use this as my a desk journal. I know, it's very hard not to be able to flip through it. And then after I use this as my desk journal, I don't know, I might rip some of it apart, but wait till you see some of these. Now this is a really kind of a, see, my sisters and I growing up, we would say these pages are real silky, which we loved. So you have your days of the month first in the front of it, and then you've got your individual weeks. And the colors are all, let me put this, maybe I can put something here so you don't get a glare. We called these silver dollars. I don't know if that's really what they're called. So I've got plenty of room to write. Look at that little guy. I just love these pictures, these images. I haven't even looked at them all. I love the finch. Huh? I just love it. Now, don't forget, if you're here visiting with me and hanging out, and you need me to see something, please put it in caps. That really, really helps us. Look at this guy. I don't know what kind of bird that is. He's got a purple head and a purple chest, kind of. It's a starling. I didn't know starlings had that purple. So you get the idea. Look at these. Oh, just love this. So instead of getting ripped up, I'm going to use this as a journal. The European Starling. Oh, thank you, Janice. Love it. Okay. Now, the piece de la resistance. This next calendar came in 2 sizes. So I got the little one. I thought, well, I'm ordering all those other big ones. I don't really need this one big. And the style is very different. So I decided to get the small one. Folk Art by David. This is so up my alley. Okay. Okay. Talk about inspiration for what you want to paint. I could paint every image, or try to paint every image in this calendar. Okay. I just love this. Look at this guy. And most of them really wouldn't be hard to paint. You know, they're just basic shapes. You know, a skinny cone, a square, a half circle. Do this, right? So now I'm wanting to look at this. Now, the problem, of course, with the calendar, making it into a journal, see, I think I would want my journal, of course, to go this way. So if I take it apart and tape the pages together, like, hey, Sophia, good afternoon. Look at this pig. I just love him. Look. You're nobody until you're ignored by a cat. So if you turn it and tape your pages, well, I guess it would be on the back side. I have to think this. This one's stapled. Look at the pumpkin with the little buildings, little farm on top of the pumpkin. Really, really love this. Really love this pumpkin. I'm just like, I cannot even tell you. I'm over the moon with this little calendar. Look at him. I haven't shown my sisters yet. They're going to be drooling. So it's designed by a guy named David. Who knew? So I'm pretty well pleased with my calendars. So I'm hoping to put those to good use. All right, so let's get busy. I love envelope journals. And Calico Kate and I were talking, I guess last night or yesterday sometime. And we were doing a little work together. And she was working on a really adorable envelope journal. And I'm sure she'll show you next time she's live. But I just like them. And of course, with anything that a lot of us make and create when it comes to journals, or really any project, there are different ways to do it, right? There's all different ways to do it. Janice says Jean Bainey made a journal from a line calendar. Date pages for collage, pics to keep. Oh, I'll have to check that out. That sounds interesting. Thanks, Janice. And so there's several ways to make envelope journals. And the first time I saw an envelope journal made was I was watching a video of Kerr. And so I went looking for that this morning. And I found it, and I'm going to put that in my description box when this uploads. You'll see it there. She calls it a double envelope something journal. I forget exactly how she has it named. But for most of us, we tuck I would think we just tuck the envelopes inside of each other. Let's see, like this. I have some samples. You know, these are cards. Hold on, I know some of these are together. Yeah, this I glued together, and I did 3 envelopes. So you just tuck them inside of each other and glue your flaps down. And then you glue your flap over. You don't have to glue the flap over, but you certainly can. And it's just a matter of, you know, tucking them how you want. You just tuck them inside each other like this. You don't have to stain them, you know. And then you can tuck another one here. You can just keep adding pages. Sophia said, I can see tiny bud shapes on the trees that are the earliest to flower in the spring. We have a lilac. Oh, I love lilacs. And a plum tree, tiny plums, good for the birds, but full of spring blossoms. Oh, how nice. So that's the tuck and glue version, if you will, of making an envelope journal. I know this is not new to most of you. So this one we worked on a couple of weeks ago, I guess. Let's see. And this was one I tucked and glued. And then I decided to stitch in the pages. But when you do a journal like this, you've got little built-in pockets in the front cover. And you could leave your flap free, but you can use it as a design element. Pockets on the front, or however you want to design it. What's Pam saying here? My daughter might be heading home from Wisconsin either tonight or tomorrow, but it does take a couple of days to get home. Nice. We'll have to remember her. And, what's your daughter's name, if we could ask Pam? If we could pray for her while she's traveling, that would be great. And then this little one, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I put fabric and glued the 2 envelopes together and did 2 sets of envelopes like that. So you have pockets, and then I put pages in between. So the one I'm going to work on today is similar to this, but yet still a little different. And it's inspired by G. Kerr. So let's get started. All right. So I just picked out some envelopes from all cards, you know, that aren't going to be used. And I've just got a stack of envelopes in my stash. And so I pulled some of those out. I had made some coffee, strong coffee. And let's see, where do I put the ones I want to work on? And I stained my envelopes. And we're going to work on these. So these are about, now you can use any size. Now, if you watch, or should I say when you watch G. Kerr video, she has several where she's making envelope journals. A lot of times she makes them tuck into other things she makes or other journals. But you can really do any size. Okay, so this is a 5x7 envelope. Now, sometimes my neighbor would give me cards, you know, she belonged to something and people were always sending her cards, I guess, for a donation. And then sometimes at the thrift shop you can pick up where you might not necessarily like the card. Okay, Ange, take care, baby. Sometimes it's cheaper, you know, if you find them at a Goodwill for $1 for a bag of cards. You don't necessarily maybe want the card part, but it's good for the envelope part. And G says to either use a piece of paper, which she does in the video that I'll be posting, or you could use fabric. I'm going to use fabric. So the first thing she does is she already has her envelopes stained or prepared. And she uses paper. I'm going to use fabric. So I just took an old hanky that I didn't care for the edging on, and then I cut it apart, and these are about not quite 2 inches, a little under 2 inches wide. And then you want to measure it the length of your envelope. And G takes a little bit of glue stick, glues them down, and then runs them through her sewing machine. Now, I will caution you, if you do that and you're not cautious where you put your needle, you will get glue on your sewing machine needle. And when I've done that in the past, then I can't thread my needle. I got to take my needle off and clean my needle because it gunks up the eye of the needle. Now, I did iron these, but what I really like to do is fold my strip of fabric in half, because I don't eyeball this so good, and I tend to be a little anal. So if you fold that, it gives you a nice little guideline to then put your envelope down. And you just don't need a lot of glue if you're going to do it this way, because you're going to stitch them as well. So I want my flaps on my envelope inside up, I guess you'd say. So I just want to put a little bit of glue. I just want enough to hold it down while I stitch. So I'm going to put that right on that line. And then again, a little bit of glue on this outer edge. You can use whatever glue you want. And you may choose not to glue and just take it and stitch it. But I'll show you why gluing it is probably a good idea, because we're going to be doing some other things to it before we stitch it. See, that's the rub. That's the rub. Now, this is going to be my outside cover. And I was thinking on the inside, I might like to have a little, maybe a little stenciling on this. So I'm going to grab my, let's see, I think I want it to be somewhat subtle. I don't want it to be so much in my face, like a black, but I want to be able to see it. Let's see if I can grab my, I've got my some little ink, stays on ink pads smashed into this one little basket by my desk, and they're in there so tight I can't get them out. Let's see what I have here. That's black. I've got my purple. I'm going to try my ganache. It's a dark brown. So I do have the re-inker for the ganache. Now I'm using Stays On just because it stays on. And should I decide to do anything else to this, I don't have to worry about my stamping ink bleeding. So I hope everyone is doing well. We know our dear aunt has not been feeling well. All right, so that's about the whole length of that. All right, now I'm going to see, I haven't used this ganache in a while. I'm not sure how juicy it is, so let's just see. So I'm just inking up that stamp, and this does not have to be perfect for me. Hey, there's Aunt Lucy and Bev. Hi, ladies. Welcome in. So that's pretty good. I don't want it too much darker than that, so I think that'll be great. So I'm going to re-ink, Now, ideally, you should flip this over, but I don't really always see very well with this block. So I'm going to try it this way. Now, I did coffee stain this fabric earlier. I put it in the dryer. Didn't dry that well. I used my heat gun. And still didn't dry that well. Then I ironed it. So this is nice and flat. So that's pretty cool. I'm liking that. I'm liking it. But I didn't necessarily want that on the outside of my little envelope journal. All right, we need a little bit more here. I think I'll put a little bit up here. See if I can get that top part to ink. Thank you, Sophia. And we'll put a little bit more down here. There's certain names of certain people when they come in chat. I think of certain songs. And Mary Lou is one of them. And you probably all can guess what song I'm talking about. She probably hates it. So I'm not going to sing it, just in case she doesn't like it. Now, once you get one of your strips of fabric or paper on, it's easier to get the second one on. Because you don't have to line up your the edges of your envelope, right? So we do still have to be, unless you don't mind it being, wonky wonk. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue right down the center of each side, just to hold the fabric in place so that when I'm ready to stitch, I don't have any wiggle wiggle. Now that's really not a lot of glue, so that's probably not going to hold too well. All right. So let's press that down. You could do lace, you could do a patterned paper. Sky's the limit, kids. Sky's the limit. Now, I want to deal with these two flaps before the next step. Mary Lou says there's a few songs. If it's Ricky Nelson's, it's good. I don't know. It might be Ricky Nelson. Hello, Mary Lou. That one. Goodbye, heart. Sweet. Oh, look. I thought this was going to fit. It's too short. Oh, that's not good. Oh, phooey pooey. I guess I could angle it. I could angle it. All right. So if boy, it just will fit. Let's see. I need a pencil. See, I didn't lay that in there before. I thought today I'm all prepared. Yes, that's him. Gosh, I haven't thought about Ricky Nelson in a long time. He was a goodie, huh? He was a cutie, and he had a nice voice. Easy on the eyes. Okay, I want to go this way. I like that end of the paper better. So I want to, and you don't have to do this. You could stamp your flaps. You could leave your flaps plain. Put your own touch to however you want. And I found this little leftover pad of paper in my one drawer, and I think it's a Stamperia. I think it was called Muse because it had this girl on it. But all the other papers that were stacked with it, I'm not sure if it came in that pack, but this is what I'm using. So I've got my 2 marks. I'm going to try to cut this as best as I can. to line up. No, I want them out here. Line these up. I took the little guard off because I was having trouble cutting some paper. So let's see if this works. If it doesn't, then we'll have to go to plan B. Plan B. Sometimes you need a plan B. Now, generally, I'm not a big fan of glue stick. So I want this side to show. So this is what I'm going to glue it down like this. And I'm going to grab a glue brush. I think I'm going to grab a glue brush. Where did I put my... Oh, dear. I have a little pot here that just has some Elmer's glue all in there. Move a few things out of my line of vision. Grab a little glue brush, and I'm just going to paint some glue on this. Hey, Devin. Hello, hello. If you have the tape runner, you could use that. Your glue stick, your Yes paste, anything. Your matte medium, Mod Podge. I just don't want to stick my paper in that glue where I got messy. Now you could measure and fuss around with your envelope point, but this works better for me because no matter when I do that, I just don't get it right and it doesn't match. So this is the way I'm going. And I love the smell of coffee stained paper. Of course, I like coffee, but I just think it smells, I don't know, vintagey, and I don't know. I just like it. I just like it. All right, so I'm going to put my other piece here. Now, of course, it didn't fit, so I had to angle it. So my very, very ends are not covered. But I can live with that. Okay, Gail. Do what you got to do, girl. It's all good. All good. So welcome to everyone who has come in. This is Bricolage with Paint Girly, creating with a diversity of available things. So today the available things, some leftover scrapbook paper and envelopes and some fabrics. All right, so now I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to just trim those envelope flaps. Now I'm trying to remember the steps that Kerr does. Because she's got another little trick here. No, I'm off camera. You don't need to see me trim. I trim very poorly. See, now, like I said, you could have traced this and then glued on your little envelope points. But this just seems to make more sense to me. And maybe you don't have a paper that works or nothing that comes to mind. You could stamp on the inside of your flaps. You could put fabric. You could doodle. You know, whatever else you're going to do for the inside that works, you can do it. See, so now they fold in like this. And then your journal. I would glue it on more wonky if I pre-cut this. Yes, I am with you. That's exactly why I didn't do it, because it never fits. I never get it to fit. All right, so this is the idea. Now, let's see. I probably should go ahead and ink some of my edges. Now, this is a little darker. I'm thinking about using my walnut ink, which I very rarely use that. The other thing I was thinking, because G makes pockets. She makes a pocket on the front of her journal that she shows in her tutorial. And I thought about doing that, but I wanted to use this Muse girl. But when I put her on here, I just didn't know if I see it covers up all this really cool stuff over here, but maybe that's okay. Maybe I could zhuzh her over a little bit. I was thinking about just using her as the tuck spot, but now that I'm putting that there, that doesn't really look that bad. All right, so I have to trim it here. I'm going to trim it there, and I want a little divot. Always want a little divot. So I didn't pull out my little punch. So let's see if I can unearth my punch. No, it's, well, I can use maybe this one. It's just the plain, yeah, the plain circle. So this will work. And then I'm going to get my cutter. Get my little cutter again. And of course, a lot of you, you measure, and that's great. I just don't measure very well either. So I'm just going to use a circle punch, and I'm just going to punch, just a little, take a little snip out. Boop, like that. Did you like that little boop? Just doing a little boop. I'm just preparing. I'm not ready to glue down. But what I'm thinking is if I put her here, I'm thinking about inking around her to kind of create a little bit of a shadow. I don't know if I can. And then offset her a little bit. Yeah. I don't know if that's going to work. She's wiggling. She's wiggling. Hold still. Well, maybe a little darker. Let's see if I can get it a little darker. I didn't want to use black. I want it to be just a little, and of course my walnut's probably a little on the dry side. I don't use the walnut very much. All right, so we'll see how that looks. So I'm going to put these two aside. Actually, let's ink this real quick. I might switch to my vintage for this. Now, ideally, you want to come from the outside in and circular motions to get a nice little blended edge. But to tell you quite frankly, a lot of times it takes too long for me, and I do other things. How about for you all? Do you stay the course? Okay, so that might work. let's cover up this walnut. I think my actual walnut ink pad got tossed, so I let a vintage one dry out and then put walnut ink. Oh, I don't want to do my edges there, because what she does is she cuts her envelope and she opens it up so she can stitch. All right, we can always ink some more. See, if I stitch down now to really secure my spine, it's going to limit my use of the pocket, which, you know, you could do. But I'm being inspired by Kerr this morning. So she folds these in. She gets a nice crease on her spine. And again, she used paper, so I'm not sure how my cutter is going to do. And she takes a little skinny piece off of the top here and a little skinny piece off of the edge there. So let's see if I can do it. Oh. Okay, so I'm going to use the scissors because I used fabric there. And I do have paper underneath, so I'm just using regular scissors there. And if it's a little wonky and rough, it's okay. Might be more better. Gotta go this way. And we'll take a little skinny slice, I hope, off of this edge. Okay. All right, so this is what you end up with. Look, I'm going to do like the professionals, and I'm going to clean up my mess here and just do a Julie Child and brush those on the floor. Right? So now what she does is she stitches here and here and here and here. But you just have to be careful because you're just going to bend it back, stitch here, and flip it this way, stitch here, and then you do the same on the front. Because if you don't, you'll stitch them together and then there would be no reason for cutting them apart, right? So I have my machine right here. I'm going to just take a few minutes to go ahead and stitch that. Now I have yellow thread in my machine, but I'm going to use that, and we'll just put our little muse here. So maybe you could visit with one another, say Heidi Ho or whatever. There's some more folks that have come in, and I'm going to stitch these down. Now I'm going to try. I think I want to use some. I'm going to try a zigzag and see. Now I want to avoid the very, very center just because that's where I put glue. So, hey, Kel, nice to see you. I'm getting ready to sew, Kel, so just say hi to everybody. I'll be back. I'm right here. And if you talk real loud, I could probably hear you. So let's see how this goes. I don't really stitch very straight either. Oh, it looks cute. It looks cute. All right, now I'm going to come down the other side. So I've got to flip back my pages. My envelope here. All right. Now that's the two insides that I did. Now I need to do my outer cover. Oh, I got to bring the needle up or else the cover doesn't go under there. I'm going to try to do right on the very edge. Let's see. How about this? This is where the wonky comes in, guys. This is where the wonky comes in. All right, so now this is, maybe I'll go this way. All right. Okay. So that wasn't terribly long, right? Hey, there's Andrea. Hi, Andrea. All right. So, get my little muse out of the way here. Now I'm going to trim my threads. So what I did was, initially, I had two plain envelopes that matched in size. Glued them on a piece of fabric underneath, glued fabric on top. All right. I put paper inside my flaps, trimmed those out, and then I just folded it like a book, trimmed off a little bit off the top and a little bit off the bottom. And so I ended up with this. And I wanted to stitch my fabric down so it doesn't go anywhere. But I wanted to use my full pocket. So this is inspired by Kerr, which I think most of you are familiar with her. So now I'm going to trim. So then what G does is, once she opens that up, she stitches down. Now she used paper. I'm using fabric. So you have to flip it this way and stitch. Flip it this, so you're just stitching on a single piece of paper. And then when you do your spine, your cover, same thing. You just want to flip all those extras behind the stitch and then flip them again the other way. So you're just stitching through one thickness. Okay. So the other thing she mentions is if you want to do a pocket or you're doing something on the front and you want to stitch it down, you need to do that before you stitch your journal closed, right? So if I'm going to put this here as a pocket and I want to stitch it, I can't stitch it. Well, you could, but you'd see your stitch marks, right? Now, if I stitch this here, you're going to see a stitch mark there. So that's something to think about. You may not want to do that. So here's my spine. Which way to, oh, see, look, I've got it going the wrong, oh no, did I put it on upside down with my shadow? No, I'm good. I forgot about my shadow. me under my shadow. See a little bit of a shadow there. So I'm going to fold this so I get this placed correctly. So, and I want to be able to use it as a pocket. I think I'm just going to stitch across the bottom just to show you, just because we can. Uh-oh. Kel said she was naughty. She slept through church service. Unless it's somebody that's really interesting to me, that's what I do. I'm just doing the two outside edges, so this will hold in place, hopefully, where I want it. And then I'm going to stitch the bottom. Okay. Are you following me? Is anybody paying attention? If I give a quiz, will anybody know the answers? Class? Is anybody awake? Trying to keep my little nozzle clear. So I'm going to use a straight stitch. So the other thing is, now I have this is all open, so I want it to be pockets again, so it will be a nice journal. So I'm going to stitch all the way around the outside edge. And then down here, you see, I'm just going to come across the bottom, and that will, I've glued the edges, and that will shore up my pocket. Now I could stitch here and stitch here, but I'm not wanting my stitches to show through on the inside of the pocket here, so I'm not going to do that. That's why I glued that. So now I'm going to go back to my machine. I'm just going to put a couple of little paper clips here. Now my machine is older, and I've been struggling with some tension issues. So my underneath stitch hasn't been looking so great. So I don't want that to be on the top of my journal. So I'm going to flip it. So I'm going to be kind of sewing blind. Let's see. Kathy says she won't know the answers, but she's got a good start to a spring journal. All right, so I'm just going to clip this a little bit. And I'm, like I said, I'm going to use a straight stitch. And I want to make sure I'm going the right way. All right, that's straight. So I'm going to stitch it this way so I have the better looking stitches on the outside of my journal. Now this will only take a few minutes, all right? So be nice to each other. Welcome those new folks that are coming in. And I'm going to use a straight stitch and just stitch around the entire perimeter, I think that's the right word, of my journal. And I'll be right back. Don't forget I can hear you. I'm just right here. I'm not in another room. Look, I'm just putting this here so you have something nice to look at. Okay. All right, here we go. I'm a little nervous. Okay, let's see. See if my edges aren't straight and I follow the edge, my stitches aren't going to be straight, but it is what it is. coming around the corner. Woo! When she comes, yeehaw! Oh, she's coming around the corner. When she comes, yeehaw! Woo! Well, not too bad. Okay. Oh, she's coming around the corner. I keep seeing leaves blowing. Ah! See, I can't talk and sew out on our patio, and I keep thinking it's a little chipmunk. All right, that part didn't get so great. All right. I do love sewing paper. I have to say, I love sewing paper. All right, is everybody good? Did I miss anybody coming in? All right, who said that about changing seats? Huh? Was that Flo, the little instigator? All right, so I sewed all the way around the edge. See, a little thicker there, got a little wonky here. But it's not bad. Whew. Kathy is a machine. Now she's dyeing paper. Okay, so there's my pocket. See, now I have my inside pockets again. My spine is all in place. Now this, of course, can wrap around to be a closure. Just see what we end up with. So now I'm going to put my muse back on the front. Now I did a little bit of a shadow there. So I just want to offset her a little bit. And I don't want to glue her totally down so that I can, put everything. Thank you. Hey, Kathy Whitney. Hi. Put, pop things in behind her. So I'm just going to glue right below where her little shirt is coming off of her shoulder there. All right. So I'm going to use I think this is golden matte medium in this one. So I just don't want to miss that spot. So I'm going to come underneath here, just add a little blue. I could have put it in my Xyron, but see, I didn't want her all the way to glue down. So I don't know how to just do a half of a body on that. But this will be good. Okay, now I'll get my little, and I'm going to offset her just a little bit from that shadow we created. Give her a little press. Now it's yours to decorate however you want. All right, so I pulled out some paper. You could stitch in another envelope, right? Along with your papers. mean, you could do it. Why not? Let's just see. Let's just see. All right. Now I'm kind of liking that in here. I really could maybe take my vintage photo and mimic that you know, that script inking there. Something to think about. Calico Kate says, can I add instant coffee to regular cold coffee to make it darker? I would think so. I would just heat it up so that your instant coffee granules melt, you know, disintegrate. They probably would go a little quicker for you. But I don't see why you couldn't. Now, this envelope is a little, well, no, it's about the same size, isn't it? So when I go to stitch in pages, if I wanted to, I really could stitch in another set of envelopes. Now, Kerr does not do this. Well, I'm just thinking outside the box. See, I could do this, glue them together, you know, slide one inside the other, glue this here, and then I could do pages, another set of envelopes, and then more pages, and stitch it down the center. What do you think about that? Maybe. I don't think I have any stained. Yes, I coffee stained these earlier, Kathy. Actually, I would like, if I do the insert, because see, they're just going to stick out a little bit because I trimmed the original. Let's see what else I have. Let's see if I have any. I don't think I have any already stained. Let me see if I have smaller. Boy, I think I slept funny. My hip is like, whoa! Couldn't possibly be the damp weather. Could it now? Could it now? I'm stepping gingerly. I'm looking for a smaller envelope. Oh, some of these might work. Some of these might work. It really doesn't take long to stain them with the coffee. Of course, I left my coffee in the kitchen. But I have time. I can go get it. Okay, these are kind of vintagey. These are about the same size. These are different. They might be cool because they're real square. I think I like these. All right, I'm going to go get my coffee stain. And I just have been taking a brush and painting it on instead of putting my coffee in a dish and dunking. All right, so just one moment. I'll go get my coffee stain. Now, I made mine really dark because that's how I like it, but you don't have to do that. You can use tea. I've got some kind of leaves. I think they're called butterfly pea tea or something like that. PEA, not PEE. And that's like a bluish. So, I mean, your journal doesn't have to be brown. It can be whatever color. Oh my gosh, Pam, you're still shoveling snow? Oh. I like pocket doors too. Ours isn't a pocket, it's just a slider. Yeah, just a slider. This originally the house, from what we were told, the slider just came out to the outside, but at some point folks that lived here put on where I am a four-season room. So it's just like a kitchen slider that would go out to the outside. And they just added on this room. And then we've got a second set of sliders that actually go outside now. You may not want to do it on cardboard like I'm doing because it did kind of stick. Let me move it to my silicone mat. My husband said for us it's going to be in like 71 by Thursday or Friday. That's outrageous. Now, I do like a little bit of drippage, and sometimes I like to, mush these together to get some kind of a, like, design on the covers. But then that's all extra. Bye, Devin. Have a great day. Okay. Now, if they're not too drippy, sometimes I just set them up on my laptop keyboard because there's a lot of heat that comes out of that. And of course, that takes a couple of minutes. So I'm wondering if I'm going to be able, it's just a little short. Stinkermarinks. See, I could get that to match. Maybe if I move it, well, I might be able, well, at least that one. I wonder why, I guess I came in too far with the other one. Oh, what a silly gal. What a silly gal, I say. Silly. All right, I'm going to use my heat gun so we can get a moving and a grooving just to get these started, and then I'm going to get my paper. I have paper pulled out. I just don't have it cut. Get some of this drippiness off of these here. Oh, I used to love snow days. I was dreaming about my job last night. I don't know. I haven't worked since 2013. And I was dreaming about a boss and a coworker who passed on. I don't know why I was dreaming about him. Crazy. Oh, that's right. I'm going to tuck this one. So I don't really need to worry about this thing. I think I want to do shrinky dink sometimes. I have some of that shrinky dink stuff. Remember when Colleen was doing, CK Art was doing shrinky dink stuff? Gosh, that's been a while. make little charmy things. All right, these aren't drippy now, so I'm going to pop them up on my keyboard to help them dry. Dry, baby, dry. And then I need to get out another baby wipe. The coffee is sticky. Also, we had pocket doors in our home when she was growing up, and they were forever jumping off their track. My daughter would have loved pocket doors. My son would have been slamming them. But the cool thing about them, and a slider too, but the pocket doors, of course, it's more attractive because you just see the wall. Hey, there's Shanna Burgess. Hi. Okay, she's going to be in and out. I'm glad you said hello. Nice to see you. All right, so my pages. Pages. Keeping with the coloring. I have these. So I think I might have purchased these pages. These look pretty good, so I don't think I did them. I don't think I did them. All right, so now where is my, here we go. If I go this way, see, this seems like to be, ooh, looky there. I think I can cut them right in half. And they'll work very nicely. This is an oversized paper. The thing is, will it fit in my cutter? I don't think so. Oh, I hate to get out the big cutter. Maybe. No. See, then it'll be wonky on the end. I don't want it wonky. I want it nice. I'm going to have to get out my big cutter, which is just right there, but it doesn't really fit on my desk very well, but that's okay. We've got to do what we got to do. Sophia said, oh, wow, talking of slamming drawers, just heard a huge slam from upstairs, followed by a stomp, 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 and frantic circles. That's the 7-year-old going to the bathroom. Love kids. That's the age of my granddaughter, 7. Great age. Great age. Of course, our 7-year-old, she thinks she knows as much as 40-year-old. So that's fun. All right, let's scoop this guy in here. Oh my gosh, I gotta keep getting rearranged in the chair. Getting situated. All right, let's go. All right. So I'm going to cut right there. Let's see. Let's see where that comes to. 6 inches. All right, here we go. Press and slide. Hey, that was easy. I usually don't get it on the first shot. Lovely. Now I'll probably end up wheeling over that. That's usually what happens. That's usually what happens to me. All right. So we're adding to G. Kerr's plan of a double, what she calls it, a double envelope something journal. I didn't pay close attention to what she actually calls it. So I'm just folding my pages in half. So my paper was a little larger than normal, bigger than an 8.5 by 11, which then fit in my book really well. So I cut them in half, and now I'm folding them in half to make my pages. Anybody have any questions? Andrea said she'll be right back. So Andrea said I was going to ask LOLO. Jenna said chocolate and raspberry I see, but mint, not too sure. Oh, I missed something. Oh, I hope you're not talking about ice cream. Angie's not here, so we're not talking about food. All right, so then I'm going to pop these inside of it. So what do we got here? We've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that gives me 4 in the front and 4 in the back. 2, 4. So I've got 2 sets of pages. Now, you could stitch your pages. Okay, Mary Lou, thanks for coming in. It was nice to see you. Hey, Randy. All right, here's our little envelopes. I'm telling you, they drive so nice on that keyboard. So I'm going to just glue them into each other. Right? So I really only have to glue here, because that's going to snug that in, and that's tucked in. That's not going to go anywhere. Am I right? Am I right? When you're right, you're right. We'll use the glue stick for this. Here. Okay. Sophia says she's going to be back. She's got to get the pasta and the water. Pasta and pesto for a simple kid's supper. Sounds yummy. All right, so now I picked smaller envelopes to go inside the journal. So here's 4 pages. And then I've got 4 pages to go behind it. I miss my little dog too. And I've lined them up, right? And this is my cover. What did I do with it? Oh, here it is. I'm going to cap my glue stick. Make sure I'm going the right way. So this is what we're going to have. Okay. Yeah, that's my Bella, Randy. She's 12. Same thing. My husband doesn't want a new one either. I'd have had one already. Okay, so everybody following along. So in between these 4 pages, I've got another envelope. Now that one, I kind of moved it. So this is the fiddly part. Like I said, I'm not a great straight shooter, but not a straight sewer. And I think my machine will go through. Let's see, do I have any little clips? Here's one. I don't know if this is gonna reach. No, I think I'd do better with the, oh, they're over on the sewing machine. That's not holding it real tight. But it might hold it enough for me to get it stitched. All right, so I'm going to take it to the sewing machine. It's hard sometimes to see if you stitch from the inside. I might try to stitch it this way. Again, my tension is not always great because if I stitch it, normally I would stitch it this way, but if I do that, I'm afraid these stitches might not look so great. All right, so I'm going to stitch. I'll be back. Turn on my machine. Just doing a straight stitch. All right, here we go. Ooh, that looks pretty good. I'm surprised. All right. Now, if you don't have a sewing machine, or if you have a sewing machine that you don't think you could sew through paper, do a pamphlet stitch. Don't let that stop you. Right? Now, we've got a couple options. So we just stitch our pages in. I had 4 pages, and then we have another envelope with a pocket. That might be a little fiddly to get in. Should have punched a little divot. And then 4 more pages. Oh, 8 pages actually. And then we've got our other envelope and pocket, and then more pages. So we've got this area that we could certainly decorate. You could add a pocket on the front. You could make other little things to make tuck spots. But think about that, right? This pocket here. So you could use it like this. You could use the front flap to wrap around the back. You could put a piece of Velcro back there. Or you could do it this way. Hey, Janet. Hello. Or you could bring it around this way. Now, if you didn't, oh, look, I could kind of tuck behind her. Oh, I didn't think about that. And of course, you could have stitched some kind of fabric to make a tie. So you've got plenty of options, right? So I want to make something to put in the pocket. And then I was thinking, I wonder about, see, I decorated the inside fabric where the seam is, the spine. Oh, Ham sewing for a Barbie doll. Now somewhere I have some stamps. Let's see how she's writing. So I've got some stamps that would really work. And I think they're right here, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Here we go. There's a couple of them anyway. If you have any of these Stampin' Up! Plastic folders, like, they're good for storing other stamps, because a lot of times, like the ones that come in these plastic clams, like, you know, there's a few of them and you got plenty of room in there for other stuff. All right, I think what I would really like to do is to add a little more script, maybe around here. That's just a little too plain for me. I might do something else, but I think I'm going to start with a little bit of script stamping. And I just don't know how juicy my vintage photo is. And I don't want it real I don't want it real in your face. I don't want it in my face. Let's see. Stamp on this. And I don't want it real square and boxy, so I want to just maybe ink a little bit in the center. Let me pull out my ratty mouse pad. I usually get a better stamp if I do that. Let's see. I could flip it upside down, but that might be hard to do with the book. Yeah, that might be okay. That might be okay, right? Because I don't want it in your face. So let's flatten this out. Put it on my mouse pad. Now I could add ink to my ink pad, but I don't want it real dark either, so I'm going to go with it. And I don't know that I want it on the flap, so let me cover my flap. I do love my script stamp. I know, right? Great minds, Andrea. Okay, so that didn't hardly come out at all, but you can see a little bit under there. So I'm good with that. I'm good with that. It just gives me a little hint of something. And she's knocking everything over on her desk. All right, so I'm not wiggling, I'm just kind of pressing. You don't want to wiggle, because if you wiggle, it will get blurry. There we go. That's a little better. That's a little better. Yeah, I don't want to go over top of that again because I don't want it to be all schmeary. I don't want it to be schmeary. Now let's see what we have in here. I have 2 pens. Somewhere I have an inkwell. Don't know where that is. That's probably in one of my bigger containers of, I wonder if it's in one of those. Well, I can add it later. I don't have to drag out all my stamps to see. But what I was thinking is it might be nice. Yeah, I have two actually. I have one that I cut apart so I can do small pieces, and I left this other one on the block. And I really do use them both. I know that might be a little overkill, but you know, I use them. I use them. So I'm thinking like it might be cool to have on a couple of these pages, or maybe on the envelope. I wonder if I can scoot my, I think I can scoot this. Of course, I won't be able to see, and I don't want a circle. I just want a little portion of, oh, let's try. Oh, whoa, I can come way more in. Here we go. Now, this is what you want to be aware of. You know, you should be doing this stuff before you put your book together. Excuse me, got the hiccups. But I didn't think of it. Again, it's better to cut twice. That's enough. That'll be enough. Shake out my little paper. Shake out. What is that? Da, 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 and the trash, you kitty yak, and don't talk back. Where's Barbara? We need her for the words. This is a little mini ink pen. It's not like a fountain type pen. I think I could put a little pocket or something on here. See, I didn't ink there, so that will annoy me. I don't think I want to cluster this up too much and make it too thick, but certainly some stamps, some stamping would be good. All right, so let's see. I have a block somewhere. I don't know if that will stick on my block anymore. Oh, I've got stuff on there already. Take out the, what are the words to that? Take out the something in the track. Yakety yak and don't talk back. Yakety yak, yakety yak. Somebody asked, I don't know if it was in one of my lives or somebody else's live, how to clean these stamps so they re-stick to your. So I have not been too successful with it. All right, let's see. Let's do a little sample stamp. I love this little stamp. Love it. All right, so I'm going to go here. It's only a portion. Now, I didn't take the time, but certainly before you put your book together, you could stitch some of your pages would look, would look cool. Andrea said, I can't remember what YouTuber showed bending the unmounted stamp as a way to have more control. I loved it. It worked well. Mine don't bend so good, especially the bigger ones. I would like to look for my inkwell. All right, so this one's bigger. I'm not sure I'm too crazy about the paper I have left to put on. I've got a couple of those. What did I do with the rest of my paper? No, back here. I've got some books. Maybe we can make a pocket on a pocket, and this could be another little tuck spot. It's just about the right size, just a little bit different. So this is where you just get to fuss around with stuff, with what you have available. This says, isn't about the words we use, it's about the emotions we evoke. Writing is seeing. Writing is seeing. It's a pay attention. I kind of like that. I know it's a green. I'll cut some of this. Any other ideas of what we could put in here? I could put some more fabric. Janice said, bending stamps, Nina Rabina. Never heard of her. Cool. Nina Rabina. That's cute. All right. So I probably should measure this. Whoa, I've got rulers dropping out of the air. I absolutely love envelope journals. 5.5. And I use, I've shown this before on some of my lives, but I have one that I use like a lot because of stencils that I have. And I just keep all my stencils that I use every day in there. I'm thinking I could cut this in half and then size it. So this is a little 6x6 sheet of paper. So I'm going to go 3 inches. And then it was 5.5 I needed. So we'll make that 5.5. And we'll make this 5.5. I was wrong. I almost did a 5. So put those little snippets out of the way. And then where's my little punch? Right here. So I want one going one way and one going the other way. So I'm going to do this here. And this one, I want to make sure the letters are going the right way. So I want to punch here. Make myself a little dip. And then I'm going to put this one here. And a little divot. I might get out my tomato paste. And ink these because I want some decent color on it. So let's see here. And I'm going to try not to put my fist in it. I'm not usually very successful. So this is vintage antiquing paste. This is put out, I believe, by Stamperia. This is a 3 lifetime supply. Bye, Sophia. Thank you. Enjoy your dinner. I don't know. There's a knack, there's a knack. And some people are just so good at it. When I saw Dana use this, it went on and looked so great. And I just don't think I do it as well as she does. Just saying. I should try a brush. I have a brush. I put these Timmy brushes. I guess he came out with a newer one. And when I got mine, I guess it just doesn't, the one it slides, it doesn't hold its position. But I'm kind of saving these for the Timmy stuff. Did you ever see one of these? And then this slides back in. So when you put it in the case, it doesn't bend your bristle. See, look, I told you. I knew that was there. Why? Why do I do this? Ay, ay, ay. If I have problems with stamped edges, I'm guilty of cutting them off with a knife or scissors. I've done that before. That's why a lot of times I'll tear paper. I tear paper and outline where I want to stamp so I don't get that hard edge. Right, Gail? Does it ever fail? Gail, you know. Yeah, I'm sticking my hand in always in paint or whatever. It's just, I don't know. I find myself annoying. Is Marty here? Is she lurking? Does she see me do it? No, I don't want to put my book in there. That's a sad looking mouse pad. All right, let's glue the outer edge. Do you, Gail? Oh, you're sweet. You make me feel better. Oy, oy, oy. Oy, oy, oy. And if I'm sitting here working by myself, and of course I do it, and I always say out loud, "You did it again!" Oh boy. Well, my mother's new healthcare worker came on Friday. My sister Jackie was there with her. Mom was very well behaved, and the healthcare worker was lovely. So, of course, now we're thinking Mom won't remember the next time she comes, and we might have to start all over again. But round one under our belts, and it was good. Now, I think I need some kind of a little belly band there, or a word, or something, right? Now, this is a little short when I cut this, and this one's a little long. How about it? Couldn't possibly be me. Had to be me. Had to be me. But still, I did 5.5. Unbelievable. I just take your paper, throw it on the floor. Wow, that still just fits. I don't know, kids. I just don't know. Let's see. Well, there are things called gloves. Yes, sometimes put them on for holding. Yeah. The gloves I have, and I'm sure you can get other ones, but it's just what I have. They're too big, and of course with the nails that doesn't help, and then they don't fit, and they're all wrinkly, and I don't like it. I don't like the gloves. But I could just, pay attention. I could pay attention. Wouldn't that be swell? What about a little lace or something? How am I going to close this? Where might Lori have her little inkwell? Wouldn't the inkwell be cute? What else would go with this muse that I might have? So I've got to make some cards for in the pockets. I don't know if she's sturdy enough to really hold that. Of course, I could always add a clip. Oh, I can make a flag clip. Could I not? Could I not? Okay, so Murray has been uploading these videos and she's been tatting, right? So it just looks very interesting to me. And I found not the needle I wanted to find, but I found a pretty long needle that I have. So I started to practice and do some tatting, and I like it. And I certainly like how it looks. And I just have plain ecru. I found a ball. I guess it was in the thing I bought from Erin in the Adirondacks. And I bought a box of yarn stuff. And it's DMC thread, like a little ball. So then last night, Keisha was selling those little balls. I'm telling you what, the girls were putting in their letters before on my screen, she even flipped the letter up on her table. Okay, that's how bad my lag was. So needless to say, I didn't get any of those puppies. So I started looking around and I found a really good deal, but the lady doesn't ship and she's an hour and a half away from me. And my husband's so very practical. He's like, honey, it's going to cost you as much in gas and tolls that it would be for the thread. And she's got variegated and oh my gosh. Kathy said, I've coffee dyed lace and nail index cards. My husband isn't going to smell glue in here anymore. Love it. Love it. Okay. So if I put anything else up here, yeah, usually I like the speed round because it doesn't seem to affect me as badly. But boy, last night, and I refreshed, could have been my computer, but no, I think it was the same on my phone. It was just bad here last night. I could not. I mean, I didn't even try to get in because, like I said, I'm like, what are they putting letters in for? And then Keisha would flip up the letter. Oh my gosh, I couldn't believe how bad it was. Anywho, all right, so I need something in the pocket. So I think the reality is the best thing would be to have this tucked in this way and maybe wrap this around this way or don't wrap it. So I want to create something for in the pocket. And I want to dig in my little, I wonder about maybe one of these little frame things sitting behind her here, like it's on the wall. I wonder how that would look. Oh, where do I have some of those? I've got those stuffed in all different places. Let's see. All different places. I'm just going to pull out some bits of stuff. Things I take apart. Oops, sorry. Whack the camera. I'm a camera whacker. No, don't like that. Oh, this is lovely little trim for lace. See, I don't have a lot of little skinny stuff. But how sweet is that? Let me put a little piece of that on the front there. Let's see. I'm looking for a frame. I don't want that kind of frame. I know I have some in a, I thought I pushed one in here. Did you push it? This kind of goes. See, this looks like tatting. Oh, I needed. Oh, it is tatting. I could use that for a pattern. I could do I could do this. I just learned how to hook them. Oh, they didn't close that. They just well, I know what I'm gonna be doing this afternoon. But some of that, ball thread, that DMC that's in a little ball, oh, they're so cute, and you get a lot of stuff on there. They're like some people are asking $7 for those. Come on, that's crazy to me. There's a crocheted thing. I keep pulling this butterfly out. It's purple, but she got some, I think she flew into some coffee. Some coffee died. I kind of like that. Wish I had a gold flower. Gold flower. Do 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 do. I am one weird chick. But like I like to say, I'm happy. How's my time? Oh, I've got time. Hey, rumor has it that Tanya might be coming on for a little bit today. Huh? Huh? How lovely would that be? Okay, let's see. Let's see how this looks. I love keeping a little bundle of stuff by my desk. I like this. I need something on those pockets for sure. That looks pretty good, huh? All right, that's probably sometimes I have a hard time telling the backside from my backside from the front side. All right, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 little florets I could get on there. So I'm really bummed that lady won't ship. I mean, really, I just don't know why people don't ship it. Just you charge me. You could charge me. Throw it in a bag. Thank you, Janet. Janet's gonna score well on the quiz. I'm just saying. The rest of you, I don't know. I'm not paying attention. Janet's paying attention. All right, some Fabri-Tac. I'm going to give this a stretch. And try not to get it on my fingernails. The Fabri-Tac on my fingernails dulls them down. It's not real good. Not so good. Just a little something there. It doesn't serve any purpose, except it just looks cute. I could have cut it a little bigger, but I didn't want to. Oh, Kathy, does that mean you're going to peek at her paper when she's answering the questions? What did I do with my last baby wipe? Baby wipe on aisle 3. Oh, did I throw it out again? I think I go through more baby wipes now than I did when my kids were little. What kind of what am I looking for? Oh, thread? Those little DMC, they look like a little ball. It's a little ball. It's all wound around a little ball. They're called DMC. There could be other brands, I don't know. But I would like to have Like this gal had some vintage stuff. It was, she had some variegated, you know, which I think that might be a little harder to come by. Okay, I was a little sloppy there. I'm not too happy with myself, and I waited too long to wipe that up. Really, Gil? Oh, I had them for my kids. I thought our kids were about the same age. Okay, so let's do a matchy-matchy. Matchy-matchy. Thank you, Andrea. I wasn't sure I would like the little rounded tips. Oh, but the company that I get them from didn't have the square in the French. They just came out with them. How about it? So I have them now, but I didn't have them when I purchased. If I stretch that, I'm going to have to trim. So that's okay. They didn't have them, so they do now. Yeah, don't start sucking up now. What was she being ornery? Gotta watch, Andrea. You're being ornery. Whoop. This new bottle of Fabri-Tac, really. I mean, I've had to fight with my old one to get some of the glue out. Now this one, it just really comes out fast. Fast and furious. All right. My grandpa bought baby wipes and Pampers. Oh, thought baby wipe and Pampers were the best inventions and would buy boxes of different sizes. So when we came to visit, the guest bed was covered and we just had to take what we needed. Oh, what a sweet man. Okay, now I got to be careful. I don't want to. Oh, thanks, Janice. Yeah, I was surprised. They're a little longer than what I normally wear, too. So I was surprised. I'm liking them. I'm liking them. I'm liking them. All right, so that just did that up very nicely. Now I got to be careful because that still is a little damp. Let me put this in between like a page protector so I can continue to work here. I kind of like the way that this works or looks, but I'm not sure that I like the yellow and the green. Just kind of. So I was thinking about putting a little piece of this down below. I know I thought I had a pin in here, but that's, I just have it tucked. Okay, this guy's scooting out the bottom. Now I could put a little piece here. And I could put some up here. What do you think? Shall I do the top and then find something else for the bottom? I don't know if I want it in both places. Where's that little clip? Let's see if I can. Let's see if I can clip this so it stays closed. I don't know if I like it in both places. Oh, I didn't think about food banks. Yeah, well, the last time I bought them, I bought like at a Sam's Club where I got like a whole case of them and they were more reasonable and then buying just a couple packages here and there. I was looking for a frame, wasn't I? Okay, where do I have the frames? I've got a jar. Oh, there they are. Okay. My dad had tons of these, and my mom was getting ready to throw them out. I'm like, no, please don't throw out anything with asking me first. Of course, that was before Mom's memory is, got a little dicey. A little dicey. Her memory. Her memory. All right, I'm going to turn on my glue gun because I really like my glue gun. Oh, really? Oh, the disposable diapers? Yeah. All right, so there's one. See, if I keep things in, it's probably dusty, in jars like this because I like the jar. I can see what's in it. I can sit it on top of a shelf or a storage unit I have here in my room. I've got my jingle bells in these. I've got these little, what do they call these things? Slide projector films. And I've got my embroidery floss. So it works out well for me. And then I can just look around and see. I've got some buttons in one. All right, let's ink this up and see. Kathy's leaving. Have a good afternoon, Kathy. All right, let's give this a loan. I don't know if I'm going to use it, but we'll see. We'll see how it looks. And let's put some script on there. Let's see if I can. Do, 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 do. All right, Flo's going to be right back. Do, 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 do. Should have probably done it on the blank side, but we did it on the side where it says Gold Slide. Gold Slide something. I can't even read it. Can't read it. All right, now be honest. I need something behind it, do I not? Do, 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 do. Has anybody seen my gal? Do, 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 do. Don't like that so much. Janice has been sidetracked. That's dry. Okay, very good. This is my I'm not sure I like that. I'm on the fence. Any other ideas? I'm going to snip this right here. He's off to, oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, maybe a Timmy person I could find. I didn't do that very well, did I? That's an idea, isn't it? Okay, let's see. Now, if I thought about this first, I could have tucked that under. But it would have to be a little lower, maybe. More down like that, you're saying, instead of up there. I could use it for a flip to open the book, too. All right, let's see. Let's get out the Timmy people. Timmy people, front and center. Timmy people. All right, let's see. Uh-oh. See, I knew I was going to wheel into that. I told you, I'm an accident waiting to happen. And I've got that linen tape. It's not really washi tape, but a piece of that in the book might look good somewhere. All right, I'm going to try to avoid my camera. These are not all Timmy people. All right, yeah, I think this is the size we want. Oh, maybe while I'm in here, maybe I'll grab some flowers. I might want to put some flowers. And maybe something from that box. Oh, girls, I'll tell you, these boxes, this is one where the handle pops shut, to keep all your little boxes in. I struggle with those. Struggle. All right, let's bring this. Let's see if I can put my hand in this stuff again. I'm always switching stuff around because I've got myself so... Boy, I almost just put my book in that pile of goo. Some of these would be too... Whoa! Timmy people, back in the box. All right, so let's see if we can find one that looks like a soldier. He's a little too young. I don't know if I have any that look like that. It wouldn't have to be a soldier, but to me, a soldier might be good. And if I have one in that sepia color, wouldn't that be smashing? Uh-oh, here we go. Oh, this guy's not a soldier, but what's he? I think he's in the wrong box. It's just maybe a little too big. I see Timmy people. Oh, this is a kid. Oh, look. Oh, why won't my camera focus anymore? It's having a good run there with the focusing, but I've had a hard time getting it to focus lately. Anybody? Well, I think they're going to be my choices. I got two of the same little kid and then a little girl. Unless I use that square. And I have those squares somewhere. Do you have an old yearbook? No. I have old black and white photos somewhere. But where? That is the question. It doesn't have to be done today. It can wait. I understand. But I was excited about maybe getting, something finished during a live stream. Wouldn't that just? I guess she could be writing about anybody. All right, everybody, back in the box. Back in the box. I have, gosh, my piles of goodies are getting bigger and bigger. Put a couple of things over here because I need to find a new home for them. But I don't think I have my black and whites in there anymore. I do love looking through my stuff, I have to say. I just saw. Here it is. I don't know what's in here. Anything could be in here. Well, nothing alive. Nothing alive. Don't be worried about that. We'll just have we'll have a little look. Okay, let's see. Oh dear. Harry Potter. Look, Kath, here's mine. We were talking about passports, old passports. Wouldn't they make a cute journal? Huh? I love the little Keisha did that. How cute is that? I have a box of these regular ones somewhere. I could use Hope maybe as a tuck-in somewhere. And if we're going to have her writing, she's amused and she's writing maybe love. Let's pull that out while we're in here. While we're in here rooting around. Do you love to root? Do you love to root in other people's drawers? Stamps, they're always good. Oh, here's a little girl. I can get her back in the right box. Little pieces of Velcro that I don't have to look for them if I want to put Velcro to keep that closure. These might be cute, huh? A couple of these on the front. Girls, it just never ends, does it? Oh my gosh, I just love all this stuff. I saw another letter. Am I driving anybody crazy? Kel says, who is this Keisha everyone's talking about? Well, Keisha, and if she's not behaving, Keisha Marie is from Keisha's Creations, which is a YouTube channel, and Keisha heads up and organizes and runs the virtual craft vendors market, among other things. My goodness, I thought for sure I had another wooden letter in here. Hugs and kisses. I don't know that will work. It's not a Valentine's thing. Do people hug and kiss other than Valentine's Day? Yeah, I guess so. Look, I can put this in. Look, that's my daughter. I guess she was about, I don't know, what, 10, 11? Would have been smart if Mama had, you know, put a date on the back. Oh, look, Mina made me this. Let's use this. I love those. Got a green one and a pink. See, I'm going to drive myself crazy because there it is. VA. This could be a little bright spot together. Always. Flowers. See, do you guys save this kind of stuff? I'm going to open my Etsy shop, Mitts. I might do an occasional thing from my channel, but right now I don't have, I would not sell what Keisha's selling because I would not want to interfere with what she's doing. I would be selling finished stuff, my journals and stuff like that, light bulbs, you know, that kind of jazz. That kind of jazz. All right, so let's pop this all back. Well, that's not going to go back together. And if you subscribe to Keisha's channel, then you'll know when she comes on. But she was coming on the first weekend of every month for sure, but I don't know if that's changed. It might be the second weekend now. I'm not sure. All right, let's have one. Oh, look how cute that is. Nothing like admiring your own work, but that doesn't work for this scenario. See, I just put, oh, that'll work. I just put stuff everywhere, right? And then I don't remember where I put it. No soldier boys, no black and whites. I know I had them to the left of me here, but I also know I moved them. Soldier boy. That one's colored a little different. My little soldier boy. I'm liking some of the stuff I'm finding though. Oh, that's cute. I got me a lot of good stuff. Can anybody remember where I have all this stuff when I say, where is my remember? All right, let's put that aside and we'll either have to go a different way. Okay, Kellyanne is on board. Lovely. Okay, I think this might look nice. Stapled to one of my pages with another little something something on it. Of course, I didn't pull out any dirty. Hey, there's Peggy. Hi, Peg. How you doing? Nice to see you. She's taking a break from Sunday housework. She's a good gal. She's a good gal. I'm going to staple that. I love the way things look with a tiny attacher, you know, just stapled on a page. Now, if I staple it backwards, meaning the straight, smooth side is underneath, and the bumpy part of the staple is this way. Let's put something on the other side. Then I can hide the bumpy side. I'm not crazy about the bumpy side, just saying. That's kind of cool. Let's have a piece of this. See, this is just the backing of a book I took apart. But I love it. Love it. Can you see what I'm doing? I'm just going to staple that. And then this. If I can get it the way I want. Thanks, Peggy. I've been enjoying them, that's for sure. See, now I've got the bumpy part there. See, I can put a little bit of lace here. I can always add more to this as well. But for right now, the hot glue will seep through that fiber and stick it to the page. Huh? Sweet, right? I got to get out some of my little paper clips. Okay. All right, so that's good. Now, I was thinking about putting a letter here. I guess I will just go with one. How are we on time? I got about a half hour. I do want to make something different from for here, and then I do need something here. I'm not sure I'm going to go frame unless I dig through my stuff and I find that perfect perfect thing to put in there. I do like kind of like this fella. But see, if I put him down, Jonathan, if you put him down too far, then it's going to interfere with what I might put in my pocket. I'm just not sure I'm liking that whole look. But I do like this. What do you think? You know, being she's writing. I could do with a little spot of glue here. Just a smidge. Smidge. Hold that lace down. Okay, Gail, thanks so much for being here. You have a great day. Give Elvin a little smooch. Sounds like a lot of our pets are in their senior years. Let's see how this holds with the hot glue. Lori, look at the above message. Bye, Gail. Bye, Gail. Bye, Gail. Kathy, can you give me a hint? Like who? Is it a message from you, sweetie? Let's see. I have a hard time. I saw the one about Keisha. I saw what Mitzi said. I answered that. Oh, Kath put in Keisha's thing. That's good. Oh, Tanya said she'll be, oh, thanks, Kathy. Tanya said she'll be on at 1 Central. Woohoo! So that's 2 for me. Wonderful. Thanks, Kathy. Okay, great. Wonderful. Thanks, Kath. Woohoo! All right, so that's in about 30 minutes. So I'll take another 15, and then I can call my neighbor, get a little something to eat for lunch, and then I'll be ready to tune in. I'm assuming that will be on her channel. So I'm going to continue to work in this and go through, add things that I like. I'm going to find my little inkwell. That might be a nice front page. Just a little, it's a little, looks like a little flower arrangement. Let's ink that up. And this could be a tuck spot. It doesn't have to be, where's my, see, I did it. I put my book in it. Gosh, I really annoy myself. And I probably lost another baby wipe. Just one, oh no, here it is. Look, I got it all over the back of my book. I should know to cover it up. Heavens. Well, good thing this is semi-grungy. I'm a struggle. Struggle, struggle, struggle. My bonus son would say, you're a struggle. Naturally distressed yourself. I should have kept out a couple of those tea bags. I like the way they looked. I can dig them out again. Well, this is turning into a little more than I anticipated, but I'm liking it. I'm liking it. So if I put this here, I think I want that a little more color on this. Let's smoosh all over the top. So now we have Tanya coming on at 1 Central, 2 Eastern. And we've got Xandra at 4, right? Marie comes on maybe 6 Central. So I'm just going to glue half of this so that I can use it as a tuck spot should I decide to tuck it. It might look nice with a guest check stuck in there. So I remember my dear friend Holly was really liked journals, but she had never made one. And she was nervous to do it. So this is a journal that really, if you're new at building a journal, especially for maybe one of my replayers, not necessarily for my gang of friends that are here, because we all kind of dabble in the same type of projects. But don't be discouraged or think you can't make a journal, because see, this has been very simple. You don't have to cut it apart. You could use paper and glue. You can hand stitch in your pages, and you don't have to have these dyed papers. You can take a book apart. Just don't tell the bookstore people or the librarian or Pam. You can take a book apart and use book pages. I mean, this would look just as cute in here as these two, right? Now, the other thing that Kerr does is when she gets her book assembled, she takes some gesso and dry brushes some gesso on top, and then she comes back and she applies some more inking. Again, all this stuff that you add to your books or your journals are preference. Whatever your preference is. I'm going to make some cards to go in. I'm going to go through some more of my papers. I'm going to find my inkwell. I'm going to do a little something, something here. Um, some of these semi people are going to look cute in here. I'm going to use some of this. Old bits of fabric, lace, torn pieces of paper, cheesecloth. It's just, how about a piece of tinkle tape? Let's get a piece of tinkle tape. Where might I want a piece of tinkle tape? See, now this one, the way it was stained, we didn't get any. I think I bought these from someone in Etsy, in the Etsy shop. So here's my tinkle tape. I'm probably going to need some extra glue because stuff's been on here for a while. And I'm going to try to get this. Let me try to get this piece up. Now, it doesn't always. I could probably, not probably. I could use my heat gun, but I don't want to melt it. So if I can just get the edge, lift up a little bit. I'd like to get this mostly intact, the size that it is, and it's not going to do it. Let's try this one. I may have to go heat. Oh, wait a minute. This one's better. Here we go. All right. So I'm going to put it right here. That feels pretty sticky still. And then I want to wrap it around just because I can. The other side. Huh? How sweet is that? Love me some tinkle tape. Yeah, if I get my knife right under there, I can pull it away. Now, I had said in a previous stream, put this on a piece of acetate and then use your alcohol ink. But Kathy tried that. It didn't come off the acetate. Now, of course, you could cut the acetate and use it, but I kind of misspoke. I just assumed that would work. But it didn't work so well. So keep that in mind. This is more like a heavier piece of plastic, and I'm able to put my tape down, my alcohol ink, let it dry, and then peel it off when I need it. So, when you're trashing stuff, keep a lookout for this. Jean, I call it tinkle tape. Jeannie, I call it tinkle tape because it looks like somebody's tinkled on it. It's not very nice. I shouldn't say it. But it's treated with alcohol ink to make it look old, like you would find on an old recipe. Now these little edges are coming up, so we're going to glue those. I'm going to glue those down. I don't really know what they call it. Johnny from the junk shop. No, junk shop journal. I knew what you meant, kind. Yeah. It's just a cellophane tape, that you would wrap Christmas or birthday presents with. You could use packing tape. There you go. Peggy has the nice term. Homemade vintage tape. Thank you, Peggy. And this little bit of it here, it's giving me a little bit of a fit, but it looks kind of cool that it's kind of curled up. But see, you've just put that on a page on your book, and I just love it. I love it. All right, so let's have a bit of a recap. Envelope journals. I love making them. I love making journals. So here are a few that I've made. This one I did on a live stream not too long ago. And this was where I just tucked the envelopes inside of each other and decorated, added some paper. I didn't cut them the right size, so I offset them, stitched them in, and stitched on some sari ribbon. So that, very simple, and just added some ephemera in the pockets. Voila. Put a stamp, did some watercolor, I think I did there, whatever, I don't really remember, but see, little simple. This one's a little more involved in that I did similar to what I did today, in that I put fabric and put my 2 envelopes bottom to bottom, like, where's another envelope? Here we go. Bottom to bottom. All right. I use fabric. G. Kerr uses paper a lot of the time. All right. And then this one, if I ever get it untied, I did the dividers like I did today, but then I left the envelope intact. All right. And put it together similar to what I did today. And I've got those extra little. All right, so that's that one. But today, in keeping with what G. Kerr does in her tutorial, and I'll have that in my description box, 2 envelopes, put them together bottom to bottom. I used fabric for my binding, for my spine. And then we covered the flaps to make them look all nice. And then we trimmed off a little bit off of the top and off of the bottom and opened that up so I could stitch my fabric down. And it could be stitched on the outside without losing any of the depth of my pocket. And then I stitched all the way around to close it back up. And then we did cut some paper and then added another envelope, which we tucked it together, like probably most of you are familiar with this kind of an envelope journal. Just slide those in and I glued the flap down. So then I put pages, my second envelope, and more pages, and then I stitched them in my spine. So that's what we did today. So now I'm just going through and I'm starting to decorate a little bit. I haven't quite decided how I'm going to close it. I'll add some ephemera and stuff in the pockets. So this is all stuff I'm trying to get ready to go into my Etsy shop when I, really get my act together, which right now I really don't have my act together. But you could wrap this, you could do it this way. You could add ribbon, like I did on this little one. This is some sari silk that I stitched down. You could glue it on, right? You could wrap it, add a little Velcro or some kind of a button closure. And you certainly could bring the back flap. And if you think about it ahead of time, what you put here, she's not real. I could have put her on, say, like a piece of manila folder. She would have been a little sturdier. And I think that would have worked pretty well. But I decided not to do that. So there you have it. So that's it for me. It's 1:45. And so in Central Time, it's 1:45. So Tanya will be on in about 15 minutes. So if you can join her, that would be Fabaruni. She's been healing from some shoulder surgery, so it'll be fun to see her. So if you can join us, join us. Thanks so much for being here. Thank you, my dear mods, for helping me today. And for my guests, thanks for joining out. And I do appreciate my replayers. Thanks so much. I just love getting comments from you guys. And that's just kind of a fun thing. I think most of us that do live streams enjoy hearing from you and getting a little note on the live. So thanks for being here. Have a great rest of your day. Don't forget, at 4 we have Xandra, and then later this evening we've got Murray, and I think there's been some other gals on while I'm on. So we'll see you all soon. Take care, and don't forget, take time to be creative and enjoy the journey. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.